Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I wanted to use this background, even though I don't have a green screen, so it doesn't come out very clear. We're going to talk about water and a story that I find so fascinating. I can't wait to share it with you guys. And the reason why I wanted to do this was because I've been talking about cycles, economic cycles, since I started the channel. But I've also talked about a 400-year weather cycle. And I talk about how we are not in this, it's not this we're destroying the earth necessarily. Trust me, I don't agree with pollution, but everybody's freaking out about the weather and how it's getting crazy. And I explain that this is simply a 400-year weather cycle that we have peaked out at, and we are going from a heating cycle into a cooling cycle. And it's actually it's like similar to an ice age where the temperatures are going to be, I think, at its peak about 14 degrees lower than average everywhere around the world when it peaks, and it's trough. But right now we're at the peak. So we have maximum drying, maximum drought, all of that stuff. And all over the world, literally, we are experiencing drought. And Germany, the Rhine River, is no exception. As a matter of fact, we're getting pretty close to the water levels being so low that they cannot move goods up and down the river, which is very vital for Germany because of it's a vital shipping lane. Now, I want to show you something that has emerged from the water. We talk about Lake Mead all the time. There's bodies being found, all kinds of things that are being opened up to us now, that we're seeing like history in the making, right? In Lake Mead, where you see sunken ships, all kinds of things, of old towns. But now in Germany is something so crazy here. I just got to share it with you. It says century-old warnings emerge from riverbed as Europe faces historic drought. And you see these stones that have been carved from a long time ago. Here we go. Water levels have dropped in major rivers across Europe as the region suffers under a historic drought. In those dry riverbeds, centuries-old warning messages have emerged, locals report. The horrifying boulders are known as Hungerstein or hunger stones. Local German reporter Olaf Cohens said in an August 11 tweet. One of these stones is embedded in the Elbe River, which runs from the mountains of, Chechnya through Germany to the North Sea. Political journalist Heitor Hernandez Morales tweeted the same day. So the stone, dating back to a drought in 1616, is once again visible in the dry riverbed. Hernandez Morales said, the warning reads, I'm not even going to try reading that, guys, but what it stands for will shock you. It says, if you see me, weep. Hunger stones like this one were used as hydrological landmarks across Central Europe, NPR reported, when the stones last surfaced during a 2018 drought. So that makes a lot of sense because, at the end of a cycle, you have ebbs and flows, right? You have rainy seasons, drying seasons. But in 2018 was the last time this was shown. And before that, it wasn't visible since the year 1616. Absolutely blows my mind. It says these stones are chiseled with years of hardship and the initials of authors lost to history. A team of Czech researchers wrote in a 2013 study, the basic inscriptions warn of the consequences of drought. It expressed that drought had brought a bad harvest, lack of food, high prices, and hunger for poor people. The stones commemorate historic droughts, the researchers said. And here you can see close-ups of the photos. These are absolutely blow my mind how clean and clear this is. As a matter of fact, I mean, just the anchor, how clean that is, absolutely amazing to me. And this is something that I believe I love history. I love looking at artifacts, ancient civilizations. I mean, you look at the stone, the stacked stone around this stone that was carved in, and now that it's out of the ground, it teaches us something very, very important. First off, the most important thing that you need to realize from this is that this will not last forever. Okay, that is something that most people really need to hear. These are cycles, right? However, what else we need to learn from this is that times get very, very bad. And it's very interesting where the archaeologists talk about how this was very hard for poor people. Why? Because poor people were not prepared. This is what I'm talking about. It's one thing to go and crush it financially and us get ready for a down stock market, for a down housing market, for literally a Great Depression 2.0. But the most important thing is to be prepared mentally and then physically with food and water. I'm going to put links down because this is, and it sounds crazy, we're going through a water shortage at my fire department right now. A main line broke and an entire part of our town is completely without water, completely. And it does blow your mind how used to services we are when all of a sudden you're faced with, you have no water. Can't brush your teeth, you can't, you can't shower, you can't, it's hard to cook. There's all kinds of issues with that. And I don't want that for anybody, because if you aren't prepared for what's coming, and this is not going to be a small deal. All right, it's not going to be. I mean, just look at this. This river is a key strategic shipping lane for this part of the world. And now they're faced with the possibility of not being able to use it because of this drought. And again, look at what the inscription says when it's translated. If you see me, cry. That hit me super, super hard the other day when I saw that. And I think it is very, very important. And again, major rivers in Germany, Italy, and England, the Rhine, Po, and Thames, respectively, are drying out. The outlet reported that the rivers are too dry, too low, and too warm, which has consequences on wildlife, the economy, and people. Water levels in the Rhine River are about half of their usual depth for this time of the year, with some sections having even lower water levels. This has made shipping on the river 5 times more expensive because cargo ships must carry less weight to make sure they do not run aground. This is a very, very important crisis that's going on right now. And like this, in Italy, the prime minister said the country is experiencing the most serious water crisis of the last 70 years. And I cannot stress it enough. We have to be ready. We have to be ready for severe consequences in our country, in the US. This is why it's important to have a water filtration system. This is why it is important to have emergency food. And I think that this is the time to get prepared, because I believe that we're going to see it coming into 2023. We're going to see very difficult times. And let's just say this. Let's say I'm completely wrong. I'm going to link this story below. Let's say I'm completely wrong. Here's the great news. You've got water and food. Then you just use it. And right now, especially because of inflation, you're going to save money in the future. So I do want to warn people. I do want you to be prepared, because I'm going to be honest with you. It's really fun to go and make great deals and make money, but you can't do that without a clear head and food in your belly. All right, guys. So let's just do this. Let's get ready for this, and let's embrace what's coming, because it is an opportunity. This is a time to get excited. This is a time for you to level up. Ninja Nation. All right, guys. That being said, I thank you so much. The Economic Ninja is out.